My phone nearly slips from my hand. I stare at the banking app, blinking hard to make sure I'm seeing the numbers correctly. There's a $3,200 hole in my account that wasn't there yesterday. What the hell? I swipe to the transaction history, heart hammering against my ribs. The withdrawal appears in bold black letters. Barlow Family Emergency. My stomach lurches. I never made that transfer. I scroll further, checking and rechecking, fingers trembling across the screen. The transaction went through at 9:43 last night while I was sound asleep in my apartment, oblivious that thousands of my hard-earned dollars were vanishing. If you're watching this video, tell me where you're from or what time it is for you. My phone buzzes. Mom's name flashes on the screen. "Sabrina, honey!" Mom's voice bubbles through the speaker, bright and cheerful. "Have you heard from Iris? Wait till you see what she's done with her apartment. An absolute transformation." I press my palm against my forehead, pushing back the headache forming behind my eyes. No, I haven't talked to her. What kind of transformation? Oh, she finally got that gorgeous sectional she's been eyeing. Italian leather, if you can believe it, and the most beautiful entertainment center. Real wood, not that pressed board garbage. Makes the whole place look like something from those home magazines. My throat tightens. The room tilts slightly. How nice. Must have cost a fortune. Well, you know your sister, she has such exquisite taste. Mom laughs lightly. Anyway, we're all going over there for dinner Friday. Your father's picking up steaks. Mom, I say, my voice oddly calm despite the volcano building inside me. Did Iris just happen to spend exactly $3,200 on furniture? A pause. Just long enough. Well, I wouldn't know the exact... My phone beeps with another call. Dad. Mom, I have to go. Dad's calling. I switch calls without waiting for her response. There's my responsible girl. Dad, Donovan, booms into the phone. Just checking in about that little transfer. Meant to call you last night, but got caught up watching the game. The casual way he says it, like he's asking about borrowed lawn tools, sends a wave of heat up my neck. You took money from my account. The words come out sharp, each one a small knife. Now. Took isn't the right word. Your sister needed some help, and we know you're always good for it. His voice drops to that reasonable tone he uses when explaining why things have to be a certain way. We gave her your account information a while back, just for emergencies. A leather couch is an emergency? Sabrina, come on. We're family. What's yours is ours. You've always understood that. He sighs, like I'm being the difficult one. Your sister needed to make her place presentable. She has colleagues coming over. I close my eyes, fighting the dizziness. Dad, you can't just... Listen, I've got a meeting. We'll talk Friday at Iris's. The place looks fantastic, by the way. You'll be proud of what your contribution accomplished. The line goes dead. I stare at the phone, stunned into silence. My contribution, as if I'd volunteered. My text alert chimes. Iris. A photo appears of a sleek gray sectional and an ornate entertainment unit in rich mahogany. The furniture dwarfs her small living room. The text beneath reads, "Thanks, sis. You're always so good with money. Dinner Friday at 7 Uhr. Bring wine." I sink onto the edge of my bed. The air in my apartment suddenly feels too thin to breathe. They didn't just take it. They're bragging about it. They're thanking me for a theft they committed. Memories wash over me like a cold tide. I was 14 when Donovan lost his job at the paper mill. The ancient family car needed transmission work. Mom sat at our kitchen table, calculator in hand, bills spread in front of her like playing cards in a losing game. "We'll have to cancel your band trip," she'd said, not looking up. "We need that money for the car." I'd gone to my room, pulled out the coffee can where I'd been saving for college since I was 10, and counted out the bills. $623. My entire future saved in small increments from birthdays and odd jobs. I'd placed it all on the table in front of Mom. This should cover it. I don't need to go to college right away. Mom had cupped my face in her hands, tears in her eyes. "You're the responsible one, Sabrina, the steady one, not like Iris." All heart, but no sense. This family would fall apart without you. That was the first time, but not the last. My first paycheck from the grocery store at 16, gone to cover Iris's cheerleading uniform. My scholarship celebration dinner canceled because Donovan needed new tires. Year after year, emergency after emergency, always with the same refrain. "We're family. We need you. You're our rock." And every time, the warm glow of their approval, their love, conditional as it was, kept me coming back for more. My hands tremble as I navigate to my bank's website. I change my password. I change my security questions, replacing mother's maiden name with first pet's name. I change the contact email to a new one they don't know. I set up alerts for any transaction over $20. Then I call the bank's fraud department. "I need to report unauthorized access to my account," I say, surprised by the steadiness in my voice, despite the tears tracking down my cheeks. After 20 minutes of verification and explanations, the representative assures me they'll flag the account. "We can't guarantee recovery of the funds since the withdrawal appears to have been made with your account credentials, but we've noted the dispute." "I understand," I say, hanging up. "The lock is more important than the money." I hang up and open the family group chat. My fingers fly across the screen. My account is not a family ATM. This stops now. I hit send and set the phone down. It rings within seconds. Donovan's number. I steel myself and answer. "What the hell is this message supposed to mean?" he demands, skipping any greeting. "After all we've done for you, this is the thanks we get?" Something inside me cracks, not in the breaking way, but in the way ice does when spring finally arrives. A shift. A reordering. I press the end call button mid-lecture. For the first time in my life, I hang up on my father. My phone immediately starts ringing again. I turn it off completely. The silence that follows feels like the first clean breath after a lifetime underwater. Later that same day, I walk into my bank branch, the chill of the air conditioning a sharp contrast to the fire in my veins. I need complete printed statements for all my accounts for the last 5 years, I tell the teller. The teller's concerned glance tells me my face betrays more than I intended. "That'll be $32 for the printouts, Ms. Barlow." My laugh sounds hollow even to my own ears. Small price to pay to see where my money's been going. As midnight approaches, the statements spread across my kitchen table like evidence from a crime scene. My highlighter squeaks against the paper as I mark another one. $420, Barlow Family Travel Fund. I never authorized that. The yellow highlighted sums form a staggering pattern. $300 here, $250 there. Small enough to fly under my radar, but large enough to add up. The final tally, calculated and recalculated, makes me feel sick. $33,480. I press my palms against my eyes until stars burst behind my eyelids. $33,000. A notification dings on my laptop. It's the new credit monitoring service I signed up for this afternoon. My stomach clenches as I click the alert. Recent inquiry from Nationwide Mutual Capital, NMC. I've never applied for a mortgage. I've never even heard of them. My email inbox holds the confirmation. Loan application submitted yesterday. In my name, my social security number, the monthly payment address. Matches my parents' house. My phone buzzes with a text from Mom. "Just checking in, sweetie. Dad's cooling down. We know you're stressed about money. We all are. But family helps family. You'll understand when you're older. Sleep tight." I drop the phone like it's burned me. The casual dismissal, the pat on the head. Another bank statement catches my eye. A recurring monthly payment, 740.50 to NMC Home Loans. It's been coming out of my account automatically. Donovan's voice from 3 years ago echoes in my head. "Just a temporary arrangement until things stabilize, Sabrina. 6 months tops." That temporary arrangement never ended. They've been making their house payment with my money. I pull my laptop closer and create a new spreadsheet. Column headings appear as I type: date, amount, description, for whom. The data transfers from highlighted statements to digital cells. Each entry is another brick in the wall between who I was yesterday and who I am becoming tonight. The final tally glows on the screen: $480. This isn't help anymore, I whisper to the empty apartment. It's maintenance. A maintenance system with 3 key players: Donovan, the architect, the mastermind who built the system of small, steady drains disguised as family emergencies; Iris, the beneficiary. Designer clothes, spring break trips, that ridiculous couch. My sister floats through life on the cushion of my sacrifices. And Mom, the enabler. Her specialties: guilt, emotional manipulation, and the ability to frame exploitation as an expression of love. I open a new browser tab and search for local banks with no branches near my parents' neighborhood. By dawn, I've opened an account at Fidelity Reserve under a new email address my family doesn't know. The Sabrina's Future Fund accepts its first deposit, $200 I'd been saving for Donovan's birthday fishing trip. Not anymore. At 9:30 a.m., Miles from accounting stops at my desk at work, coffee in hand. His eyes drift to the bank statements partially visible in my bag. "Family financial drama?" he asks, voice low. I stiffen. "Is it that obvious?" "Only recognized it because I lived it." He places a sticky note on my desk. "Financial advisor who helped me when my brother was draining my accounts. He specializes in family situations." By lunch, I've made an appointment with the advisor, Julian Davenport. By 3 p.m., I'm having coffee with my friend Rebecca, the story pouring out of me in a torrent of anger and humiliation. "You're not going to that dinner on Friday," she says, her voice firm, "and you're not staying in your apartment. They have keys." I hadn't even thought of that. "You're staying in my guest room. Tonight. If things get nuclear, you need a safe place to be." By evening, I sit across from Dr. Kendrick, a therapist specializing in toxic family dynamics. I fidget with a tissue as she reviews the documents I've brought. "What you're describing is financial abuse, Sabrina," she says. Her voice holds no judgment, just clarity. "It's remarkably common, particularly with the member perceived as most stable." "But they're my parents," I say, voice cracking. "And Iris is my little sister." "Boundaries aren't cruelty," Dr. Kendrick replies. "They're clarity. You can love your family without funding their lifestyle at the expense of your future." That night, from the safety of Rebecca's guest room, I make 3 phone calls and send 2 emails. I remove myself as an authorized user on the family credit cards. I block all electronic access to my old accounts. I report the fraudulent loan application to NMC and all 3 credit bureaus. The glow of accomplishment lasts until my head hits the pillow. Then the doubts creep in. What kind of daughter cuts off her parents? What if they can't make their house payment? Sleep refuses to come as decades of conditioning wage war against this fragile new boundary. The only thing stronger than the guilt is the memory of that spreadsheet, 33,180. My future siphoned away one emergency at a time. 2 days later, my phone chimes with the 3rd text this morning from Aunt Mildred. "Honey, your parents have sacrificed everything for you. How can you be so selfish when they're struggling?" I set the phone face down on my kitchen counter. The onslaught began with Donovan's carefully crafted email to the extended family, a masterpiece of selective truth. In his version, I'm the ungrateful daughter hoarding wealth while my poor parents face financial ruin. The story spread through the Barlow family network with terrifying efficiency. The phone rings. Aunt Mildred again. I silence it, but the voicemail notification appears seconds later. "Sabrina, it's your Aunt Mildred. The Bible says to honor thy father and mother. Your uncle and I are very concerned about your behavior. Call me back immediately." Before I can process this latest guilt grenade, an email notification slides onto my screen from Pastor Wallace. "We will see you at service Sunday. I understand your family is going through a difficult time. Remember, forgiveness is a cornerstone of faith." My stomach knots. Donovan has involved the church. I open Instagram to clear my head and immediately regret it. Iris's latest post shows her sprawled dramatically across her new leather sectional. The caption, "Some people value money over family loyalty. Blood should mean more than dollars." 23 sympathetic comments follow, including 3 from my cousins. "You're so strong, Iris. Family over everything. Tell those haters to back off." I throw my phone onto the couch, my hands shaking with a rage so pure it's almost clarifying. The final blow arrives at work that day. My boss, Sharon, calls me into her office, her expression carefully neutral. I received an anonymous email expressing concern about your financial stability. She slides a printed email across her desk. "I want to assure you this won't affect your position here, but I thought you should know." I scan the message, recognizing Donovan's formal, pompous writing style instantly, though the email address is unfamiliar. Worried she is in over her head, making rash decisions, possible instability that could impact her judgment. The knot in my stomach transforms into a hard ball of rage. "Thank you for telling me, Sharon," I manage to say. "I'm handling some family boundary issues. My finances are completely stable." "Good," she says, her eyes softening just a fraction. "Handle it, but keep it out of the office." Back at my desk, I pull out the leather binder I purchased yesterday. The first act of self-care I've allowed myself in years. Inside, I've created a detailed documentation system, dates, amounts, transaction numbers, all organized chronologically. 5 years of financial drainage transformed into irrefutable evidence. I add the printout of Donovan's email to the last tab. My phone pings with a reminder for my therapy appointment. Dr. Kendrick has been a godsend. "Control the battlefield," she'd said. "Right now they're attacking from all sides whenever they want. Change the rules of engagement." I joined my support group on Wednesday evening in a community center basement. 6 of us sit in a circle sharing stories. Miles introduced me to the group. "They'll escalate before they back down," warns Barbara, a silver-haired woman who escaped 30 years of supporting her gambling-addicted brother. "The extinction burst is the worst part. They'll try to burn everything down to get you back in line. Be ready for a big move." The big move comes Sunday morning. Donovan's text arrives at 7:30 a.m. "Family meeting. Our house, 2 p.m., non-negotiable." I call Rebecca immediately. "They're staging an intervention." "I'll be your getaway driver," she says without hesitation. "Text me if you need extraction. I'll park around the corner." The familiar drive to my parents' suburb feels different today. My hands don't tremble on the steering wheel. The spreadsheets, bank statements, and transaction histories in my binder have transformed my hurt into clarity. Mom opens the door before I knock, her smile brittle. "Sabrina, honey, we've missed you." The living room has been arranged for maximum impact. Donovan sits at the head of the coffee table, calculator and bills spread before him like battle plans. Iris occupies the couch, eyes already glistening with practiced tears. Mom guides me to the lone chair positioned to face all 3 of them, the interrogation chair. "We've worked out a solution to this misunderstanding," Donovan begins, sliding a typed document toward me. "A contribution plan that works for everyone." I scan the paper. $800 monthly automatically transferred to their account, plus extra for seasonal expenses and family emergencies. "This is reasonable," Donovan continues. "You've always been the responsible one. The family needs you to step up." Iris nods vigorously. "We're counting on you, Bree." For a moment, the familiar guilt rises. Then I remember Barbara's words. They counted on me for decades because I never counted what it cost me. I place my binder on the coffee table with a solid thud. I open it to the summary page, with the total highlighted in yellow, $33,180. I've been keeping track, I say, my voice calmer than I feel. Every dollar, every emergency, every non-emergency disguised as a crisis. Donovan's face flushes. That's not relevant to... I'm your daughter, I continue, my voice gaining strength. Not your ATM. Iris's tears spill over right on cue. You're destroying this family over money. The accusation hangs in the air. 6 months ago, it would have shattered me. Today, the words bounce off my newly constructed boundaries. No, I reply, looking directly at her. You destroyed it by making love conditional. Mom gasps. Donovan sputters. Iris launches into dramatic sobs. I stand, retrieving my binder but leaving the summary page on the table. My phone buzzes with a text from Rebecca, standing by if needed. Miles has texted too. Remember what we practiced. You've got this. Donovan rises, towering over the coffee table. If you walk out that door, you're saying money matters more than family. I pause at the threshold, thinking of Dr. Kendrick's advice about exit lines. Keep it simple. Don't get drawn into debate. I love you all, I say, but that doesn't mean you get to take everything I have. When you're ready to discuss actual repayment, or at least acknowledgement of what you've taken, call me. I walk out while there's still sputtering responses, closing the door firmly behind me. Instead of starting my car immediately, I turn off my phone completely. The silence wraps around me like a protective cloak. I drive to the upscale grocery store I've always avoided as too expensive. Inside, I purchase a single container of imported Greek yogurt. $8. Something I've denied myself 100 times while sending thousands to my family. I sit in my car in the parking lot and eat it with a plastic spoon. The first spoonful tastes like victory. Monday morning, I turn my phone back onto an avalanche of notifications. Texts, voicemails, emails, all variations on guilt and anger. But one stands out. An email from Donovan with the subject line, "Family emergency. Read immediately." My finger hovers over the delete button. A calendar notification pops up. Iris's birthday dinner tonight. I stare at the two notifications, the emergency email and the birthday reminder. The choice is stark and clear. Maintain my boundary or fall back into the familiar pattern. Let's see how real this emergency really is. I whisper to the empty room, setting the phone aside without opening the email. My phone remains silent all morning. By noon, it buzzes with a voicemail from Mom. "Sabrina, honey, did you get your father's email? Call us back, please." Her voice maintains that sugary sweetness, but underneath, a thread of tension pulls tight. I set my phone face down on my desk and focus on the quarterly budget spreadsheet. The numbers align perfectly. 2 hours pass. Another voicemail. "Sabrina, it's Mom again. I don't know if you're getting our messages, but this is serious. Please call back immediately." The old guilt rises like bile, but I swallow it down. Rebecca's words from our lunch yesterday echo in my mind. They're testing your boundaries. Stand firm. By 5 p.m., Mom's third voicemail strips away all pretense. "Sabrina Barlow, I don't know what game you're playing, but Iris's account is overdrawn, and she has that shopping trip with her work friends tomorrow. She can't back out now. What would people think? Call us immediately." I almost laugh. The emergency isn't a hospital visit or a broken furnace. It's Iris's shopping spree. For the first time in my adult life, I drive home without calling them back. My office phone rings at 9:17 a.m. the next morning. "Sabrina, there's someone here to see you," says Janine from reception, her voice tight. "Your parents. They say it's urgent." Ice slides down my spine. "I'll be right there." I round the corner into the reception area and stop cold. Donovan stands with his arms crossed, face flushed. Mom clutches her purse, eyes darting nervously around the modern office space. "There she is," Donovan booms as though announcing me at a family reunion. "Too busy to answer calls from your own parents?" Janine shifts uncomfortably. Two designers from the creative department pause by the water cooler, not even pretending not to listen. Dad, Mom, this isn't appropriate. I'm at work. And I'm your father. Donovan steps closer, lowering his voice to what he probably thinks is private. Iris needs help. Family helps family. We can discuss this later, not here. No, we'll discuss it now. His finger jabs the air between us. You've always been stubborn, but this is ridiculous. After everything we've done for you. Donovan, Mom whispers, tugging his sleeve, people are watching. Let them watch. Maybe they should see what kind of daughter refuses to help her own sister. Iris is crying at home right now. Miles appears at my side, his presence solid and calm. Everything okay here, Sabrina? Donovan's eyes narrow. And who are you? A colleague, Miles answers. One who thinks this conversation might be better continued elsewhere. This is family business, Donovan snaps. And this is a place of business, I say, finding strength in the simple truth. I can't help you today. Can't or won't? Donovan's voice rises again. You've changed, Sabrina. All these years we raised you, right? And suddenly you're too good for your own family. The office has gone silent. Sir. Janine stands, phone in hand. I need to ask you to lower your voice or I'll have to call security. Security? For a father visiting his daughter? Donovan laughs, but it's a hollow sound. That's enough. A firm voice cuts through. Linda from HR stands in the hallway, arms crossed. Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. I'm not going anywhere until my daughter. Yes, you are. Linda steps forward, either voluntarily or with security's assistance. Your choice. For a moment, I think he'll back down. Then his jaw sets. Fine. But this isn't over, Sabrina, Linda signals, and two security guards appear. They don't touch Donovan, just stand there, waiting. We raised you better than this, Mom hisses as they walk toward the exit. I hope you're proud of yourself. The doors close behind them. The silence rings in my ears until Miles squeezes my shoulder. You okay? I nod, though nothing feels okay. That was your dad, huh? Linda asks quietly. The one who sent the email. Yes. Well, now I see what you're dealing with. She straightens her blazer. Take 15 if you need it. And Sabrina, my door is open if you want to talk. Back at my desk, I open my laptop to find 15 notifications from Facebook. Iris has posted a new family photo. Mom, Donovan, and her at last Christmas, carefully cropped to remove me. The caption makes my stomach clench. Family means standing by each other through thick and thin. True loyalty can't be measured in dollars. Blood is thicker, your family first. The comments flood with sympathy. Aunt Mildred, you three are such an inspiration. Uncle Pete, family above all else. A dozen cousins and family friends offering support. My hands shake as I type my response. Interesting definition of loyalty. Here's mine. April 3rd, $487 for Iris's car payment. May 15th, $350 for Dad's business investment. June 8th, $900 for Mom's surprise anniversary trip. July 27th, $3,200 for Iris's emergency furniture. Total family loyalty this year, $11,837. Just facts, no judgment. Actual numbers. I hit post, then immediately close the browser, heart pounding. I've never publicly challenged the family narrative before. My phone buzzes with a text from Rebecca. Just saw your comment. Perfect response. Facts only. How are you holding up? Before I can answer, a private message appears from my cousin Jessica, Donovan's niece. They did the same to my mother for years. Then another notification. Linda from HR has shared my post with a simple, truth matters. Miles comments with a thumbs up emoji. My boss, Sharon, who I didn't even know was Facebook friends with me, likes my comment. My phone rings. It's Jessica. I hesitate, then answer. Hello? Sabrina, it's Jessica. I just read your post and the comments. You're in it now. I guess so. Listen to me. Her voice is low and urgent. My mom, your aunt, was his first project. Before he retired and had all the time in the world to focus on you. I know how he operates. He's not just a bully. He's an accountant. A meticulous, vindictive accountant. What do you mean? He doesn't just take the money. He documents it. He thinks of it as his. He has this old leather-bound ledger. He writes everything down. Every loan, every investment. He sees it as what the family owes him for being the patriarch. He's been doing it for 20 years. I sit down, my knees weak. A ledger? Yes, and I know where he keeps it. In the bottom left drawer of his desk in the den. It's locked, but the lock is a joke. A paperclip will open it. If you can get that book, Sabrina, you'll have more than just bank statements. You'll have his intent. Why are you telling me this, Jessica? A bitter laugh. Because he destroyed my mother's retirement. She's working as a greeter at a superstore because of him, and because my dad was too weak to stop him. He made my mom feel like she was the responsible one, him too. Sound familiar? It sounds identical. He's at church, I whisper, my mind racing. Pastor Wallace, he's been emailing me. He takes Mom to the Wednesday evening service every week, Jessica says. Like clockwork, 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Iris is always at her trivia night on Wednesdays. The house is empty. A plan, insane and terrifying, begins to form in my mind. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you. Go get him, cousin, she says and hangs up. Wednesday night, 7:45 p.m. I'm parked down the street from my parents' house, my heart rattling against my ribs. I'm wearing black jeans and a black hoodie, my old house key feeling heavy in my pocket. This is insane. This is breaking and entering. No, it's my house too. Or it was. I'm getting what's mine. I slip out of the car, move through the shadows of the yard, and let myself in through the back door. The house is silent, smelling of stale coffee and Mom's potpourri. I move directly to the den. Donovan's desk sits against the far wall, a monument to his control. I pull a paperclip from my pocket, just as Jessica said. The lock on the bottom left drawer clicks open on the third try, and there it is, a dark green leather-bound ledger. I pull the book out and set it on the desk. My hands are shaking so hard I can barely turn the pages. It's all here, meticulous, spidery handwriting. Oakty 19, SB Fund. IB Car Insurance, $550, owed. Nov 2, SB Fund, DB Property Tax, C100, loan. Jan 14, SB Fund, IB Spring Break, $800, gift, owed. He's been tracking my entire financial life, recategorizing my money as his own. I'm so engrossed, I don't hear the front door open. What are you doing? I freeze. Iris stands in the doorway, a gym bag in her hand. What is that? Are you stealing from Dad? He stole from me, Iris. It's all in here. You're pathetic, she shrieks. Dad, she's in the house. She's stealing. I grab the ledger and sprint for the back door, but Donovan is faster. He must have been waiting in the car. He bursts in, his face purple with rage. Give me that, he roars. He lunges for me. I twist away, clutching the book to my chest. No, it's my life. It's my money. Iris grabs my arm, her nails digging in. Let it go, Sabrina. Donovan rips the book from my grasp, the force sending me stumbling back against the wall. He stands there, panting, looking from me to the book. You don't get it, he snarls. You never got it. This is my family, my house, my rules. With a roar, he strides to the fireplace, where a low fire is burning, and throws the ledger into the flames. No! I scream, lunging for it. But it's too late. The old dry pages catch instantly. I watch, horrified, as 20 years of his meticulous, sociopathic accounting curls into black ash. My proof, my evidence of his intent, gone. Get out, Donovan says, his voice a low growl. Get out of my house and don't come back. Iris is sobbing in the corner, a look of genuine shock on her face. Even she didn't see this coming. I look at my father, his face illuminated by the fire consuming my future. The guilt is gone. The sadness is gone. All that's left is a cold, hard rage. You didn't just burn a book, I say, my voice shaking but clear. You burned this family, and I'm going to make sure everyone knows it. I back out of the den, snatch my keys from the counter, and run from the house. I get in my car, lock the doors, and drive for a mile before I pull over, hyperventilating. He destroyed it. He destroyed the proof. I grab my phone and call my financial advisor, Julian Davenport. It's 8:15 p.m. He answers on the second ring. Julian, it's Sabrina Barlow. Sabrina? What's wrong? You sound terrible. He burned it. He had a ledger, a handwritten book detailing everything. I had it in my hands and he burned it. He set it on fire right in front of me. Silence on the line. Then, my God. Okay, Sabrina, are you safe? Yes, I'm in my car. Good. Go to Rebecca's. Do not go home. This changes things. This is no longer a negotiation. This is a scorched earth defense. He just showed you he will destroy evidence to win. So what do I do? The bank statements are just numbers. That book was his motive. The bank statements are enough, Julian says, his voice hardening. He's not a financial planner, Sabrina. He's a bully. And bullies only understand overwhelming force. We're moving to the final plan. Now. The next week is hell. The extinction burst is in full effect. A notice appears taped to my apartment door, a formal complaint about excessive noise, reported anonymously to building management. Pure fiction. At work, Linda calls me into her office. Someone named Donovan Barlow called HR yesterday asking about your employment history, she says, tapping her pencil against the desk. Said he was doing a reference check. My stomach drops. That's my father. She nods, understanding flooding her expression. I thought so. I told him all reference checks go through the official portal and that we cannot confirm or deny employment over the phone. You okay? I force a nod. He's targeting my job. That evening, I spot Mrs. Harrington, my parents' neighbor of 20 years, at the grocery store. When our eyes meet, she quickly turns her cart down another aisle. The message is clear. By Thursday, the family pressure reaches its peak. Mom calls sobbing about how I've been cut from the will. Donovan emails demanding I attend a family reconciliation dinner at their house Friday night. Final chance to make things right. The email concludes. I call Rebecca. They're pulling out all the stops. Are you going? She asks. I stop pacing, my hand clutching the phone. Yes, but not alone. Friday evening arrives. I park outside my parents' house, the same split level where I learned that love always came with conditions. Julian Davenport, my financial advisor, sits beside me in his crisp suit, portfolio in hand. Remember, he says, his voice calm, this isn't an emotional discussion. This is a business meeting. You have the facts. We present the facts. We give them the options. We do not deviate. Let me do the talking. I nod, my throat tight but my resolve firm. Let's go. Donovan opens the front door before we reach it. His expression shifts from expectant to confused when he spots Julian. What's this about? He demands. I brought someone to help us communicate clearly, I reply, walking past him into the house. Mom and Iris sit at the dining room table. The table is set for dinner, but there's a notepad and calculator positioned precisely at what would be my place. They expected me to come alone, checkbook in hand. Everyone, I say, my voice steady. This is Julian Davenport, my financial advisor. Julian nods professionally. Good evening. Donovan's face flushes deep red. We don't need outsiders in family business. Actually, I say, placing my own portfolio on the table with a thud that echoes the one I made in the living room. That's exactly what we need. After you burn the ledger, we're moving on to the facts that are harder to destroy. Julian steps forward, taking over with calm professionalism. Ms. Barlow asked me to analyze her financial situation in relation to her family. What we found was concerning. He places a single sheet on the table, a timeline of every loan and transfer over 5 years. The total at the bottom reads $33,480. Mom's hand flies to her mouth. Iris stares at the number, blinking rapidly. This represents approximately 28% of Ms. Barlow's total income during this period. Julian continues, his voice flat and dispassionate, and it significantly impacts her retirement projections. He slides another document forward. This is the fraudulent loan application submitted to Nationwide Mutual Capital using Ms. Barlow's Social Security number, which we have already reported to the credit bureaus. Donovan opens his mouth, but Julian holds up a hand. And this, he slides another document forward, is a comparison chart showing Iris's spending patterns, designer furniture, weekend trips, exclusive restaurant bills, versus her claimed emergencies, all funded by Ms. Barlow. That's private information, Iris protests, her voice rising. It's information directly tied to funds taken from Sabrina. Julian corrects, not even looking at her. Funds which she is now prepared to classify as theft. Donovan stands abruptly. This is ridiculous. You can't come in here with some stranger and make accusations. These aren't accusations, I interrupt, my voice like ice. They're facts. Numbers don't lie, Dad, and they don't burn. Julian presents the final document. 3 potential paths forward, he announces. Option 1, complete financial separation. Sabrina changes her name and we pursue legal action for the $33,480, plus damages for the fraudulent loan, which is a felony. Donovan pales. Option 2, a structured repayment plan. You will sign a legally binding document notarized agreeing to repay the full amount over 5 years. Any default moves us immediately to option 1. Option 3, Julian continues, a formal loan agreement for any future assistance. This would involve credit checks, collateral, and market rate interest, all managed through my office. All informal contact regarding money ceases. The room falls utterly silent. Donovan stares at the papers, his mouth working but no sound emerging. Mom's eyes fill with genuine tears, not the performative ones. I didn't realize, Iris whispers, tracing the total with her fingertip. I didn't know it was so much. We've taken advantage of you, Mom says softly, not meeting my eyes. Donovan tries once more. James, was it? Julian, he corrects. I think we can handle this without accountability, I finish. That's why we're here tonight. The days of no accountability are over. I stand gathering the original documents but leaving copies on the table. Take some time, I say. Think about which option works for you. You have my lawyer's number. Call him when you're ready to discuss them. I walk toward the door, Julian following silently. No one tries to stop me. No emotional outbursts follow. Just the weight of irrefutable evidence left on a table where, for once, I wasn't serving everyone else. Outside, the cool evening air fills my lungs like freedom. My shoulders, perpetually tense for years, finally relax. You did well in there, Julian says, getting into his car. I nod, looking back at the house where my family sits, confronting the truth. For the first time, I say, I think they actually heard me. My phone stays silent that night. No urgent calls, no manipulative texts, just the peaceful sound of a truth finally spoken aloud and the quiet beginning of whatever comes next. The morning sun warms my balcony as I cradle my coffee mug between both hands. 6 months since that dinner, 6 months since they signed the repayment plan, and my savings account has finally broken the $10,000 mark. The Seattle skyline stretches before me, no longer a vista of buildings I could never afford, but my actual view, from my actual condo. I take a slow sip, savoring the rich Colombian blend I splurged on last week without calculating how many hours I'd need to work to justify it. The old mental math has faded. My phone buzzes. Once that sound would have spiked my blood pressure. Now I check the screen with steady hands. Congratulations on closing day. First round's on me tonight. Rebecca. I smile and tap a quick reply. The condo keys feel substantial in my pocket. Not just metal, but the weight of choices made and held firm. My phone chimes again. Iris's name appears. My stomach no longer plummets. Hey, big sis, any chance you could spot me $600 until payday? Car payment's due and I'm short again. Promise I'll pay back as soon as possible. Love you. I read it twice. The familiar tactics, the diminutive big sis, the specific amount, the fake urgency, the promise that will never materialize, the affection tacked on as insurance. 6 months ago, I would have transferred the money before even finishing her message, desperate for that brief sunshine of approval. Today, I type a different response. I can help you create a budget that works with your income if you want. I'm free Tuesday evening. I hit send. No anxiety, no second guessing, just clarity. The coffee tastes even better now. My weekly planner sits open on the small teak table I bought myself as a housewarming gift. Sundays, once consumed by family emergencies, now hold a standing date with myself. Jogging along the waterfront, a fresh pastry from the corner bakery, an hour with a good book. You're different, Miles said at work last week after I presented the quarterly projections with a confidence my previous self wouldn't recognize. In a good way, like you finally believe what you're worth. The promotion that followed came partly from that new certainty, that presence that no longer apologized for taking up space. On a Sunday, my phone rings. Mom. Hello? I answer, my voice even. Sabrina, honey. Her tone lacks the frantic edge it once carried. Just checking what time you're coming tonight. 7, like we planned. I've got the cake. Perfect. A pause. Donovan is grilling those salmon fillets. The mention of my father by his first name, my choice established in therapy as a tiny rebellion, no longer sounds strange to either of us. Sounds nice, I say, and I mean it. Mom's voice softens. Iris bought me a lovely scarf, saved up for its special. The pride in her voice mirrors what she once reserved for my financial help, but this pride celebrates something healthier. Iris taking small steps toward responsibility. That's good to hear. After we hang up, I open my journal. Another Sunday morning ritual. Today's entry is brief. My value isn't measured by what I provide. Later, my phone signals a voicemail. Mom again. Just wanted to say... Her voice catches slightly. I'm proud of who you've become, Sabrina, of who you always were, beneath what we demanded of you. Evening finds me back on the balcony with chamomile tea, watching city lights blink on like stars. I write one last journal entry before bed. Boundaries aren't walls that keep people out. They're foundations that let me stand secure. I didn't lose my family. I found myself. Tomorrow, a young colleague who reminds me of myself a year ago will ask for advice about her parents' financial expectations. I'll share resources, offer support, and pass along the name of my therapist. But tonight, this moment belongs just to me, a rare and perfect sufficiency. If this story resonated with you, leave a like and consider subscribing. You can also drop any comment below, even just one word. Maybe tell me where you're watching from, or what time it is right now. Sometimes one word is enough to say you were here.